for all the insider information on the defending NFC North champion Detroit Lions. With insight from Detroit sports media legend Terry Foster and rising star Matt Broder.
10 seconds, gentlemen.
Detroit, it's now time for Woodward and Maine.
Good morning, everybody, unless you're in the Philippines. Good evening.
RCD, he's 9 p.m. in the Philippines,
Yes.
Terry. Welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening. Guten Nacht. That's good night in German.
Oh, okay, whatever.
St. Brown's language.
Why are you guys speaking German today? You and Sneaky Pete?
St. Brown, did you see him? He sent his jersey out to,
Right.
I forget what the proper football player's name was, but I think he played in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, he played in Bundesliga. I forgot his actual name. I'll look it up.
You know, Terry, NFL Germany.
Well,
We're
Bundesliga.
expanding.
Good morning. Welcome to Woodward and
Good
Maine. I am
morning.
Terry Foster, but I guess today we're going to do a Lions show, but at the same time, I've got to help my little pal over here, Matt Broder, because you're about to pull out all your beautiful hair and
Thank
go
you.
ballistic, and
Do
you're worried.
I don't know if you heard the sky's falling. Like, you
did
can
hear
see
that.
outside in Detroit, the sky's falling. Apparently, you know, the 12-2 team, it's over, Terry. It's over. I have some confessions for you, if that's what you're referring
And
to.
I'm here to help you.
Fair.
But you know what? I don't know why, but every time the Lions lose a game, it's like the end of it.
Panic.
Right. When they lost to the Bears last year, that was in. Oh my God! When they lost to the Ravens, that was it. Now the Buffalo Bills, that's it. When can we have the Lions lose a game and you say, okay, let's move on to the next? Because they haven't lost 2 games in a row in like a couple years.
Yeah.
Right.
I think this is that week where you're like, okay, this is how you prove it.
Right. Well, I'm here to ease your pain. I, for one, I don't think it's over. I think the Lions, it's going to be difficult. But even if they were healthy, it's going to be difficult. The NFL is not an easy league. And particularly in December, it's hard to win. January is even harder to win because that's the playoffs. But I think they're going to be fine.
Yeah, they will.
Because I have a philosophy about the National Football League. During the season, you go through 3 or 4 transitions as a team throughout the year. You have a period where you're very good, then you have a period where you're not so good, and then you have a third period where you might get it back together or things are different and people at different stages of health. You know, I keep hearing the Lions can't beat Josh Allen, which might be true.
Yeah, maybe.
But last time I looked, Buffalo Bills are not on the schedule.
I'm pretty sure they're in the AFC.
Right. Buffalo Bills are
Yeah.
not going to be in the NFC playoffs.
Yeah. Do you know the Lions will have the best quarterback and head coach in every game before the Super Bowl?
We think.
They will. They're going to be in the playoffs every
right.
game for the rest of the season. They'll have the best quarterback and head coach in the game.
That's true, but did you hear what Dan Campbell said?
What?
The Lions cannot win 11 games in a row again this year
Oh, perfect.
because they don't have 11 games.
Yeah, they
left.
don't have to.
Right,
What do you just need? 3, 6, 7 more games?
right.
Yeah.
But I will say this, young Mr. Broder. Lions play the Bears today. I don't want to see a Lions 1 or 2 point victory. I think
Why?
the Lions need style points. Here's why. If the Lions, let's say they struggle with the Bears, who are imploding, then do you think that they can beat the Niners and Minnesota to get the number 1 seed? Do you think they can then go through maybe the Rams, the Buccaneers, and the Eagles and make it back to the Super Bowl?
Do you want an answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
If they beat the Bears by 1 and struggle?
Yeah.
See, I don't.
They beat the Bears by 1 and struggle. What happened? What goes in the left column of the standings of their record?
It's a win, but it would show that they wouldn't be able to do the same thing to San Francisco and Minnesota.
Who cares about those games right now?
Duh. You want the number 1 seed.
Yeah, you got to win them. Like we have the tiebreakers already taken care of. Now it's just about winning 3 games, maybe 2. We need a little help from Philly or Minnesota.
Here, let me speak real slowly to you. If the Lions are struggling against the imploding Bears, they're not going to beat San Francisco and Minnesota.
Well, Patrick Taylor doesn't scare me. That new offensive line, not new, that offensive line for the 49ers, they have nice new Toyota trucks from Brock Purdy, but they've been awful this season. They got Debo's
you know
about 40.
Even if they struggle against the Bears, they probably will beat San Francisco.
Yeah.
I'm saying I don't think they can beat San Francisco and Minnesota.
At Ford Field in Week 18 with the number 1 seed on the line.
Oh, okay.
Terry.
They've lost twice, right?
Yeah.
Where have those 2 losses been?
At Ford Field.
Bam. So they're beatable at home.
100% they're beatable at home. Any team's beatable. I think the Chiefs just clinched a undefeated record at home. They're doing some special things. But nonetheless, Terry, Dan Campbell is still the head coach of this Lions team, right?
Yeah.
So what are we afraid of?
Dude.
They have the best offense in the entire NFL.
Dude.
The best.
Baby boy, if you're still struggling with the scrounges of the earth, then it shows that you, at this stage of the season, you're not that good.
I disagree. Or maybe there's some nuance to what does the struggle look like? Is it the offense struggling? Is it the defense just, continuing to struggle from last week?
All right, you can make a point that they lost to the Bills because of the offense.
Yeah.
The offense, 2 3-and-outs.
Can't do
to
it.
start the game.
Can't do it.
Then, okay, you're sort of in the game to start the second half, and then the offense disappears again.
It does fall on the offense. That's what makes me confident that they're the best team in the NFL. They're the best offense in the NFL, both from a point standpoint, average points per game, average more than the Bills, who were number 2. It's also because how their offense is structured. I trust the Lions' offense more than the Bills. The Bills' offense relies on Josh Allen so much. You take James Cook out of there. You take, while I think the receiving corps are okay, I'm not really scared of Amari Cooper and Khalil Shakir and Keon Coleman yet. They're fine. The Lions can beat you so many different ways. We're going to see Jahmyr Gibbs be the bell cow. Do they then rely more on St. Brown? Laporta had 110 yards last week. Do they keep engaging him in the offense more? This team can do it so many different ways. J-Mo, Tim Patrick.
You are correct. However,
Vanilla Vic.
Did you see the Bills game?
I did. It was ugly.
When it was time to either get back into the game or establish yourself on offense, they didn't do that.
I think they did on offense. It was just the beginning. They lost. What they go down by 14 points?
Then you go down by 14. Now you're not going to beat Buffalo coming back from 14 points.
True. The beginning of games is so important. Actually, let me pose this question to you that just popped into my head. Is it more important for them to have a fast start or that's not how to phrase it. Is it more important for the defense to have a better first half than a better second half? They need to get out to that early lead and not play from behind.
Yeah,
or can they just hold down the fort?
It's always important to have a lead because then the Bears, you're gonna ask Caleb Williams to try to pass for 300 yards in whatever weather we're going to see today. I'd rather run the ball at Soldier Field than pass the ball.
Yeah. We're going to see, I don't want to say a new bell cow, but we're going to see Jahmyr Gibbs featured again. And you gave me some, you got some stats?
I do have a stat for you here. It's going to make you feel better.
Okay.
When David Montgomery does not rush or does not play, Jahmyr Gibbs averages 123 yards rushing per game. That's pretty damn good.
That's pretty damn good.
That's like Barry Sanders stuff almost.
That's really good. And that's not even counting, I don't know how much he catches the ball out of the backfield in those games, but he's doing that at a higher rate this season. So I'm not worried at all about Jahmyr Gibbs taking over as the clear-cut number 1. David Montgomery, that is a big loss. I'm not worried about Jahmyr Gibbs being able to handle whatever workload they get in his place, whether it's that many more rushes or how they adjust the offense. To me, the loss of David Montgomery is important because of the defense, because the defense is injured. They've got their own issues. Can you still control the ball on offense?
I'm going to give you another positive statement.
T-Foss with a positive.
All right.
Positivity.
We both love David Montgomery, right?
Yeah.
A hell of a player.
Love that man.
Yeah. But in scripted plays to begin the game, Jahmyr Gibbs might give the Lions a better opportunity because those are plays that usually work. And even though Montgomery might get 7 or 8 yards, Jahmyr might take it to the house.
True. Your chances of a home run are greater.
Right. So the Lions are not going to have 2 3-and-outs to begin the game with Jahmyr Gibbs because he's a weapon. This dude is special. He's fast. He's quick. And a thing that people question, well, can he run between the tackles? Hell yes. No problem. So they might be better off early in games with Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, where you're going to miss Montgomery is can you close out a game?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Where you need 5 or 6 first downs, you don't necessarily need points. Trying to drain that clock.
That man, he gets positive yardage every time he runs. He rarely gets tackled, not just at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage. Can Jahmyr Gibbs do that? I'm not worried about him running between the tackles, but how many negative plays is he going to bring? Your chances of the home run are higher.
And you know what? Instead of draining the clock, maybe my man goes for the home run.
Maybe they do. Man, maybe that's the switch that Ben Johnson does. He's got another job interview today, a live one in front of the world at 1 o'clock. I'm going to ask you about that in a little bit.
I know you're worried about that.
I don't know yet. I will ask you about it. Who do you think takes over in David Montgomery's place after Gibbs? Is it Vaki? Is it Craig Reynolds? Netflix? Is it Jermar Jefferson?
You know, Craig Reynolds in his opportunities has done well. So he's probably going to be that. Vaki he's training for that. For maybe if Montgomery gets hurt next season, then Vaki can come in. There's something about this guy. Besides, he's a good singer.
Vaki?
Yeah, that he's going to help this team.
He will. I just don't think it's like many people expect. And I see a lot in the chat today talking about Vaki. I don't think he's not the direct replacement for Montgomery. We're going to see more Craig Reynolds because even with Montgomery healthy, Reynolds and Scotty Montgomery and Ben Johnson, they've talked about this before. He's their best pass blocker. He's their best protector of Jared Goff, which is the key to this all moving forward. It's Jared Goff making sure he still has time, can still do what he does. You got to get into the play-action game, but they trust what Craig Reynolds does in the blocking game. I don't know if Vaki's there yet. He's definitely more of a weapon than Reynolds and Jermar Jefferson. I just think, especially in this game, especially early, they trust Craig Reynolds. He's going to be in there at least for more snaps.
Vaki would probably get, 4 or 5 carries today.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But I'm looking at him in the future. In the future,
I like that.
Vaki can be that athletic guy, but he can also be that guy that said, get off me. I'm going right through you. I think that's what he's going to be down the road. Not today, not next week, but he's going to be a weapon.
Yeah.
He's going to be dangerous.
I'm with you. Terry. It is Sunday morning, and I think we need to take this to the confessional. But want to say good morning to everybody again. This is
I'm supposed to help you today.
You are, and I want you to know I've got some things to confess. It's not just all my feelings. Disclaimer: it's a lot of questions, a lot of concerns I've been seeing, a lot of sins from Lions fans around the state this last couple days. I'm going to ask you, Father Foster, about those. But we just want to welcome everybody here. We're live on YouTube. We're live on X. We're live on Instagram. I think TikTok is coming. Is TikTok actually leaving? To be determined. But welcome, everybody. It's Sunday morning.
TikTok?
Pardon?
Don't the Chinese have to sell TikTok? Are we going to have it?
We'll learn a lot in the next, month? 30 days?
I hope so. Man, my wife's going to be in huge trouble if TikTok goes away.
She a swiper?
She swipes. And then she sends me I bet you if I look at my phone, I got a TikTok from her.
You made a TikTok Thanksgiving dinner, right?
I do. I have a TikTok from her for this morning.
And it came out well? Well, hey, we got 383 people here in the YouTube chat. You don't happen to have Twitter numbers handy, do you? It's okay if you don't.
No, I do.
Let me welcome, though, Matt Broder, Terry Foster. This is Pete Spivak.
195. Good morning, everybody. 195. Let's effing go Lions, by the way. 195 right now on good old X.
I love it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see you, Greg Allspot. We shouted out RCD. I'm watching from the Philippines. It's about 9:15 p.m. there. We got Vincent E. Rando Smalls. Phil! My guy James. We were talking a little fantasy football before. The Wake Up Woodward, the Woo Crew, we did a fantasy team back when, it's been going on all season. James and I are in the playoffs. My team represents James in the chat. We're facing off against KG, the number 1 seed.
Kenny G.
It's gonna be a hell of a game. But shout out to all you, Dirty Dr. D, Mr. Detroit City, Richard Lesperance, Alex Cobb's in the chat. The one big Tigers move this offseason.
Sure.
Shout out to you all. It is Sunday morning. You know, Christmas time is coming. I don't mean any disrespect in this segment, but there are sins that Lions fans are making. And Father Foster, I think it's time for a confessional.
Okay.
I'm going to speak on behalf of... This is not just what I believe. In fact, I definitely don't believe this first one. I'm speaking on behalf of the fans.
Okay,
so,
my son, confess to thee.
Okay, bless me, Father Foster, for I have sinned. I believe, Terry, the sky is falling in Detroit, and I have jumped off the Lions bandwagon. What do I do? Why?
You've jumped off because you've listened to too much propaganda. You listen to people who see what the Lions are today injury-wise, but they don't see what they could be 2-3 weeks from now. That's why. Because you're in the moment. You're not thinking about the future.
Okay, so I gotta prepare for my people to return, for Alex Anzalone to get healthy. Maybe we see Montgomery, who I know you're Father Foster today, but you're also a doctor. You're the one who gave Montgomery his third opinion. Said, hey, just
that was it.
Chill out on the surgery, Dr. Foster.
But you know what? One of the reasons he doesn't want to go on IR is you can only have so many players come back from IR.
That's true.
For the playoffs. I think the number is 8. So he's like, don't put me on there because I'm coming back. Mm-hmm. But then if I come back, I don't count against that 8. So he's like, boom. And plus, what do we say about David Montgomery?
What?
He's a motherfucker.
Can you
he
say
knocks
that?
People down.
Can you say that in church?
Well, yeah.
All right. It's your church. Yeah, it's
my church. I can say whatever I want.
Okay, fair.
So if he has that mentality on the field, I'm kicking your ass, he's got it off the field too.
Yeah.
Because you know we always say about these athletes don't want to play. They're weak. But we don't say that about David Montgomery.
No. He's trying to MJ 96 it. He's trying to come back.
Yeah. If your name is Knuckles, man, you ready to thump.
He back. Well, bless me, Father Foster, for I have sinned. I bet against the Lions making the Super Bowl, assuming they don't earn the number 1 seed. I can't believe I sinned like that, but I did. I have to tell you about it. Is that okay? How do I make up for that? If they don't get the number 1 seed, they're not making the Super Bowl.
Once again, you've been brainwashed by the feeble-minded around here. It's going to be tougher than it was if they were completely healthy. But even if they're completely healthy, it's going to be tough.
Fair.
The number 1 seed doesn't make it to the Super Bowl every year. The bottom line is you believe in the Lions offense.
Mm-hmm. I do.
You believe in Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
You believe in Ben Johnson. You believe in Aaron Glenn. You believe in the whole process. And I'll tell you one other thing. I believe in the organization now. For decades, I did not believe in the Lions organization. I thought they were a joke. They were. But now they've got something special going on. And there's always some magic now that happens where the Lions can persevere.
Fair. Okay, I think I can take that.
So they can go to the Super Bowl without a number 1 seed. If you want that number 1 seed, I think they have to have style points today against the Bears, or else it will show that they're not strong enough to make it to a number 1 seed.
Now you're trying to put your thoughts and your opinions in my head. In Confessional, you can't be putting that into my head. This is about honesty.
I'm trying to help you, and I want you to be realistic too.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Is the number 1 seed more important for home field advantage or for that first round bye for this Lions team? Is it the injuries? An extra week?
I'm trying to think. If you don't have the home field advantage, where do you have to go to? At some point, you're going to have to
Philly?
win in Los Angeles, which is possible. You're going to have to win maybe at Tampa, which is possible. You got to win at Philadelphia, which is going to be tough.
That's kind of the hard one, right?
That's the hard one, but I have this thing about Philadelphia. There's something going on in that locker room for the second year in a row. So a cohesive Lions team, even if you're not 100% healthy, can beat a Philadelphia Eagles team that's kind of bitching at each other.
That's correct.
So I'm not as afraid of Philadelphia as other people are. Maybe just a little bit afraid. And I know if the Lions and Philly play against each other in Philly, that Philly could win. But I think the thing that we don't factor in is the cohesiveness of the Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm. How about this? And this actually just, who just said this? IT Hips. My guy IT Hips. At Minnesota will be tough too. More difficult away game in the playoffs, Minnesota or Philly. At Skull Nation. I think we have a Minnesota fan in here somewhere. I saw it earlier. They're in here. Vikings fans, they like Woodward Sports. Probably thanks to
There's a
Neil.
reason for that, but I won't mention
From
that.
Big D Energy.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say maybe
I
Neil
like
had something to do with
Viking
that.
guy that goes.
I did that on the
And
show
why does
earlier.
he drive a motor scooter?
The Vikings guy?
Yeah,
What do you want him to ride?
a chariot or something.
Vikings didn't really ride in chariots,
What-
man.
what
They
did
kind
Vikings-
of rode on horses. Horseback.
Okay,
Yeah.
bring him out on a horse with like armor on it.
Father Foster Corey Berry says, T. Foster, talking about the prospect of losing the division. Even if we lose today, we still control our own destiny in the North.
Not if Minnesota wins it. Well, I guess the key is you got to beat Minnesota, so that's you're still in control of it. But it's a more difficult road.
Yeah.
If you lose to the Chicago Bears, are you really going to beat the Minnesota Vikings?
Yes. They can't lose to the Chicago Bears.
No.
I'm saying that. They can't lose.
Okay.
But I don't care about the style points. I don't care by 40 or by 2.
I do care about the style points because it shows how strong your organization is at this point. If you're fumbling around with the Chicago Bears and losing to them, I'm sorry. You are not going to go 2-0 against San Francisco and Minnesota. You're probably not going to beat the Rams.
Father Foster, this is SOL talk.
That's why you win today. Win today by a touchdown or more.
All right. You're talking about the organization. The Lions organization is much better. You trust it way more than you used to. The Bears, on the other hand, this is.
Well, how about this? I trust it because before I didn't trust it.
Now you do.
Now I
you do. In my final confession for you, Father Foster, I hate to say this, and again, everyone watching, this is not just my opinion. I hear these things out, but I'm going to tell you, Terry, I envision a Bears juggernaut with Ben Johnson as their head coach in 2025. Please talk me off this cliff.
Ben Johnson is not going to take the Chicago Bears job.
Promise?
Promise.
Why?
Because the Chicago Bears organization is a mess. Now, I know people talked about, well, Ben Johnson wants the perfect scenario to take a job. There is no perfect scenario because if it was perfect, you wouldn't need a coach.
Facts.
But the fact is, the Chicago Bears, how many quarterbacks are they going to go through and fumble? And they fumbled the quarterbacks from Mitch Trubisky, I can't believe I'm saying that, to Justin Fields, to probably Caleb Williams, who I think is a very good quarterback.
They're
but
fumbling the shit out of him.
Yeah, he's like all confused and he doesn't know what's happening. But if he was in a different organization, he would be great.
He's had 3 different coordinators and 2 different head coaches.
Right.
He still holds the ball for 9 seconds every play.
Right. Ben Johnson is not going to take that job. Not for what's happening on the field, but what's happening off the field.
Yeah.
And DJ Moore has already gone on vacation. He already basically said it last week. Yeah.
I was just about to say that.
He's
That
on
locker
the,
room's a mess.
Yeah, he's already on a cruise.
And he already got paid. Like, talk about the difference between star players getting paid. He gets paid, and he's talking about being on vacation. St. Brown, Sewell, Goff. None of that noise. None of that noise.
Well, dude, they're 12-2, so you're not going to hear that. Let's see if the Lions were 3-9 or something. If you hear, you're not going to hear that out of them either.
Exactly. That's
Right.
the point I was going to make. You're not going to hear it out of those guys if they lost 8 in a row. What are the Bears? 4-10, 8 losses in a row. Yeah, you're not going to hear that about them. I'm done. Thank you for talking me off the cliff about Ben Johnson. He did talk this week about seeking out head coaching positions. It's something he wants. He's going to be a head coach at some point. We can't keep him around forever. I want to ask you, Terry, and I know this isn't about the Bears game, but we see guys like Dan Campbell, like Jim Harbaugh, different types of personalities come into a new situation and be able to control that locker room, command a locker room, get these grown men to play hard for them, sing for "He's a Jolly Good Fellow" in the locker room. There's no question Ben Johnson's a brilliant mind. Does he have that level of command? It will look different than Harbaugh and MCDC, but can he command a locker room like those guys as a head coach, not just the OC?
I don't know that yet, but I think one of the things he's doing is he wouldn't mind studying Dan Campbell for another year. He wouldn't, and
I like
probably
that.
even Aaron Glenn a little bit, because Aaron Glenn looks more like a head coach than Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
Just his demeanor. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to have a new head coach, you'd rather have an offensive coordinator than a defensive coordinator because of the way the league is.
Yeah.
So,
And the Bears are probably going to go get Vrabel.
You know what? Yeah, and Vrabel, that's the guy I wanted the Lions to hire when they hired Matt Patricia.
Yeah. Vrabel will be – I think he's going to be a great head coach, but that's – he's Eberflus, but better. I don't want to put Vrabel in the Eberflus category, but it's a defensive-minded head coach. He's a great coach, great leader of men, but is he right for the Bears? To be determined. Nonetheless, I see what you're saying, Ben Johnson, and I love that is why he stayed with the Lions. Mm-hmm. Unfinished business, but also he knows what he sees in the leadership qualities of Dan Campbell, and he wants to learn about that. He didn't play in the NFL. He played in college at UNC.
And maybe he wants one of those quote-unquote dream jobs. Maybe he's going to wait for the Dallas Cowboys or the Miami Dolphins, somewhere nice and warm. Maybe the Rams or San Francisco. Maybe he's going to wait.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm not seeing Ben Johnson as a Jets or a Giants guy. Moving to New York, that's a whole different ball game. Both from a media perspective and your living arrangements. Like I feel like Ben Johnson likes to control. He's a man who likes to be in control. Like Christian Gray.
You know what? I don't know if he wants to be in control, but he's a guy that knows he has so much cachet that he can almost pick his destination. Mm-hmm. So he's going to do that. And he's not going to go to the Jets either because that's a shit show.
Yeah. Does he have a place he can find his own quarterback? Or there's an established quarterback there, which not many of those jobs are open. You got an actual
but he
quarterback.
Can wait it out.
He could. Come on back.
I think the Lions are still paying him, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He's not doing this for free.
No.
So he's probably living a comfortable living. And I think he wants to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Hell
yeah, he does.
He knows he can do that here. He can't do that taking over the Chicago Bears right away.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Alan Shamoon in the chat. Man, I'm at this hotel in Chicago. This hotel is filled of Lions fans. They're everywhere. Ronell Turner. Ben will stay if they make it stable for him and his family. The team shines under him. Stability is the key with Ben Johnson. I feel that too. Skydog 722. I know I'll be asking Sean the next time he's on his podcast because, Casey Broder, can you shout out my dad Sam? We watch every Sunday. Merry Christmas. Sam, shout out to you. Merry Christmas.
Actually,
Let's go
we
Lions.
cannot shout out Sam.
Why?
Sam, I'm sorry. We can't shout you out, bro.
Oh, Father. Casey, that one's for you. Greg Allspot, Casey, good morning. Raiders, Vincent, I don't know about the Raiders. I don't know if Ben Johnson wants would be Shedeur Sanders maybe will be their quarterback. Nonetheless.
Well, it's Vegas.
Yeah, right.
Maybe he likes the dice.
I don't see him as one
Little
as a
Allen
gambler.
Iverson problems.
How do you know? He's not.
I don't.
He's not some saint.
If he were a gambler, he'd be the head coach of the Washington Redskins right now.
Commanders. That's not a bad job anymore.
No, right?
Right.
Jaden Daniels. A lot of youth. Budding defense. I'm with you. How about this $20 super chat from our guy Dante151? Broder, the Bears should have had a veteran as the starting QB instead of Caleb Williams, and Poles sucks. Also, Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn won't go to the Jets with the stuff that came out with them. The Saints are in cap hell. FTB, Dante151 says. That's right, Dante151. Thank you so much for your donation. Real quick before we get back to the Lions and the Bears. Did you see Woody Johnson, the Jets GM, didn't trade for... Who was a wide receiver he didn't trade for because his Madden rating was too low?
Oh, no. That was
Woody Johnson.
It's Woody Johnson, yes. But it's hang on. I actually have the article here. Hang on.
Yeah.
I actually have it here from the Armani and Edwards with Maz show right here.
So Ben Johnson is going to take over that.
Jerry Jeudy.
Dude.
Oh, Jerry Jeudy.
It's
That's
right
what
there
it was.
up in the article.
And this is from Diana Rossini of The Athletic
Right.
and others. Jets owner Woody Johnson shot down a trade for Jerry Jeudy over his Madden rating.
Right. Yep, from Armani and Edwards with Maz 2 to 4 here on Woodward Sports.
So cross the Jets off the list.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, Braylon. I know Braylon would probably want Ben Johnson there.
Of course.
Nonetheless.
Braylon's probably going over to the facility. Hey.
He can still play. I'm going to tell you something, guys. He could still play today. He is in great shape. That guy goes to the gym at least five days a week. He says that he's
got 10 snaps a game he could do.
Easily.
That's the one landing spot where you can go to a team and your quarterback is still older than you.
Yep.
Go Aaron Rodgers to Braylon Edwards. A little different than Vinny Testaverde or Mark Sanchez, I should say. Nonetheless.
Did you know that Vinny Testaverde, you know what his big thing was? He was colorblind.
Yep.
Was he really? Is that why he threw so many interceptions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Didn't
Didn't know the
what
jersey.
color was. Is that green or is that blue? I don't know. I'll throw it anyway.
If not for Keyshawn Johnson, he would have had probably 50
Yeah.
more interceptions in his career. Those were the days, but that was also the days of Aaron Glenn, right? When he played for the Jets?
Yes.
I think so.
But you can only do what you can do.
True. Terry, do you have faith that the offensive line is going to get back to what we know of them to be after a less than stellar Bills game? You know, Graham Glasgow, I think he's questionable. He's a little beat up. The offensive line is beat up.
It is.
But still got Penei Sewell, Zeitler, Frank Ragnow to be determined at left guard and Taylor Decker. Are they going to have a comeback showing of that Hank Fraley offensive line?
They will have a comeback showing. They may not be 100% that we saw them at the beginning of the season. But, yeah, I mean, these guys are professional. They are tough. And even if they're not what we saw before, they'll still be a top 10 offensive line, which that might be good enough for the Lions.
Keep Jared Goff upright, keep him clean, and let Jahmyr Gibbs in that running game, let them do enough where the play action can be effective. I'm with you. Vincent E., shout out to the best network and chat in the game, Fire, Woodward Sports #1. Corey Berry says, that's the key today, Terry, the offensive line. I think it is.
Let the horses be horses.
Dominate the trenches, because on the flip side, the Bears' offensive line's beat up. The official injury report and actives and whatnot haven't come out yet, but I want to say their whole left side of the line is either out or questionable. So I want to ask you, do you have faith that this defense, specifically this defensive line, is going to be able to get pressure on rookie Caleb Williams?
I'm not certain of that. I think they're going to have to be creative in putting a little pressure on him today. So there might be some well-timed blitzes here and there. But this league is so simple. You got to put pressure on an opposing quarterback and keep the pressure off yours. You win. Don't turn the ball over. You win.
Yeah.
Jared Goff, here, I'm going to say something here. Jared Goff can play outdoors. He can play where it's cold. Now, I understand it's not going to be snowing. It might be a little windy. It's always windy there because Chicago, I don't know if you know this here. Here, let me tell you something, little fella.
Yeah.
The Chicago, the city, is nicknamed the Windy City.
It is.
That means the wind blows.
So do the Bears.
They do.
They do.
And the stadium is right on the lake.
And they buy some land to build a new stadium and then hire a new guy to build a different plan.
Don't
Kevin
get
Warren.
me started on that one.
I know. We could talk. We could have a whole show.
I miss Arlington Park, man. They tore down that horse track, man, for no reason.
Is that where you used to make your money?
One of the places.
That's where Maz would hang out when he goes down to Chicago, right?
Maz and I like to, frequent. Yeah.
I can see Pete over there with a fedora on, and he's got a little tie, making little bets.
Yep. Seabiscuit in his prime. Mm-hmm. John H. says, what time does the injury report come out? Isn't it usually about 90 minutes?
Yes, 90 minutes before kickoff will be the official injury report.
Yeah, we'll see. Is Ife Melifonwu going to be active today? Is Jalen Reeves-Maybin going to be active? They're coming back. Practice windows have started, but I don't know if they're going to be back yet.
And I do know which uniforms they're going to wear today.
Oh, I don't. They're going marshmallows.
Marshmallow.
What do you think of the marshmallow units?
I like everybody's marshmallows.
Yeah.
You know who I really
Pause.
like? I like the Bengals and the Vikings.
They're pretty nasty.
They're almost all white, and they just get that little outline of the purple.
I like the Bengals better with the helmet of one.
And the Bengals are pretty cool.
Well, guess
Speaking
what?
of,
The Browns aren't going to wear all white
If Zach
today.
Taylor gets fired, Ben Johnson, Joe Burrow. Okay, no, sorry. Moving on from that.
Okay, you're wandering.
Yeah, we just
Go on, the Wanderer.
Ben Johnson, stay here. Which player, Terry? Actually, first, before I ask you which player is more important for the Lions, a player that's expected to come back by the playoffs, do you think this current defense is better than the defense that the Lions rolled out in the NFC Championship game last year?
Not what I saw last week, and not what I saw in the second half against the Bears. Right now, I'm going to say no, because you don't have that pass rush from Aiden Hutchinson. I think that's the difference. So I'm going to say no.
I disagree.
I knew you would.
I have to. Because I think even with Carlton Davis out, I think the secondary is 10 times better. Brian Branch is a better player. Kirby Joseph's a better player. And you got Terrion. You got Amik Robertson. Unfortunately, sorry, Kendall, we're seeing too much of Kendall Vildor. That's my one worry. I know that's the problem. But I still like this defensive line, at least the first unit. We're talking Zadarius Smith, Josh Paschal, Levi O, and DJ Reader. Yeah, it would be much better with Hutch, with a Lee McNeil, Kaminsky, Davenport. Good Lord, that list goes on. But I still like those four.
If Aleem McNeil was in the lineup, I would say yes. I would agree with you. But he's out. He is,
True.
and I've been trying to tell you, that dude's been playing. He was balling before he got injured.
He's an all-pro type of player.
Yes.
It's as if the Chiefs lost Chris Jones. That's what happened with Aleem McNeil. That's a way bigger loss.
Aleem McNeil just...
He's a
he's
beast.
not Chris Jones.
No.
And even when I was telling you, I said, dude, Aleem McNeil is playing well. You were like, I don't know. You might be right or you may not be right. You didn't even believe.
He was in that next tier below, and I don't think he's on Chris Jones' level, but he's been playing in as impactful as Chris Jones for the Lions this year.
Yep.
He's got to do it consistently for me to put him over Chris Jones.
I am glad you have woken up.
I have awoken. Yeah, our confessional, our moment this morning, Father Terry.
Look, the light's shining on him.
It is. The morning has changed. There's a brighter outlook. Talking about how bad the Lions blow. But the key to this all, actually, while we would have loved to have any one of them back last week, the return of Anzalone's huge. Man, I wish Jalen Reeves-Maybin, I wish they were both healthy for this game, because while I don't believe in the Bears, they got some weapons. I don't believe in DeAndre Swift anymore with that offensive line, but they can do some things to their running backs, getting their running backs the ball outside of the tackles. Quan Alexander got beat up last week by Ty Johnson. That linebacker crew, Jack Campbell can't do it all.
You're rambling. If you believed in Andre Swift, guess what? He would still be a Detroit Lion.
No, I don't believe in DeAndre Swift. But he can be a
I know
weapon.
that. I said if you did believe in him, he would still be a Detroit Lion.
True. But he's not.
Right.
Because Brad Holmes
would you
doesn't.
trade Swift for Montgomery?
No.
Would you trade Swift for Jahmyr Gibbs?
No.
Damn, case closed.
I'm not trading Swift for Vaki right now either. Mm-hmm. Especially at $27 million he's making. But nonetheless, I was rambling. I got distracted, Terry. Speaking of Terry Arnold. He's got to move into this cornerback 1 role. Rookie, handsy. Earlier this season, you said put some oven mitts on him because he's holding too much. Mm-hmm. Do you trust him? Is he ready for that CB1 role?
Handsy is going to be very good. I have a great feel about Handsy. Now, I wish I wasn't seeing so many TikToks about how cold it is here. Because now they got to go to Chicago. It's going to be cold.
That's just him being himself, though.
No,
he's just
fine.
having fun with it.
Put some thermal underwear on, dude. You got to play today.
I'm sure he did. Mm-hmm. I'm sure he did, but it's his job, actually, to be the blanket, to cover whether it's Keenan Allen or DJ Moore, who's already on vacation, Rome Odunze. I love that now we have our cornerback 1 go down, and we have a Terrion Arnold who can step in. We have a Meek Robertson who's been really good out of that nickel position. It's a moment where he can step up and use the versatility that the Lions went out and sought after. They went out to get him because they sought after that versatility. They weren't sure, are we going to put Branch in the slot or at nickel, play him at safety? Is Iffy going to be... Amik Robertson can play the outside if needed. Also, Emmanuel Mosley. I don't know if he's going to be ready this week. I doubt it, but Dan Campbell said this has been his best week of practice since he's been a Lion. They got dudes. I'm glad Terrion Arnold is now that CB1.
I think you're rambling again, but during your ramble,
bumbling,
I wouldn't
stumbling.
mind put Branch coming down to the nickel.
Okay. If he's healthy or just in general?
Just in general.
Brandon Joseph isn't on the team anymore.
Yeah, because I think he's going to crack some skulls.
Branch?
Yeah, if he's in that nickel position, I want to see him beat up people again. I haven't seen him beat up folks as much as last year.
No. Or go get the ball. What we haven't seen in the last 4 games from Branch or Kirby Joseph is takeaways.
Yeah, that's disappeared.
I think there's one takeaway for the defense in the last 4 weeks.
Yep.
Those guys, especially with Caleb Williams at quarterback, especially in the Windy City, you got to go get a pick. Mm-hmm. Today, you got to get at least one out of those 2 guys. And if I'm being honest, Terry, I would rather see Branch play outside cornerback than Kendall Vildor. I don't know if I'd rather push a Meek to the outside and have Branch play the inside or just put Branch on the outside. He's by far your best defensive player.
Yeah, dude, I am tired of the Lions being Vildored. I don't want to see them get Vildored.
We can't do it anymore.
No.
As Mike Singletary said, can't win with him. Can't do it.
You know what Kendall Vildor is? He's the guy. What's the dude's name? Was Schleprock? He was a cartoon.
Soup. That's a Jewish soup. Kreplach.
No, this was Schleprock. He was a jinx.
Okay.
Everything around him, something bad would happen. Your bed would break or something would explode.
Mm-hmm.
Vildor is a jinx.
A ball goes off your face mask and lands in.
Yeah, how many times have you seen that in your football observing career?
0.0. I haven't ever.
Well, you saw it once.
Yeah,
it was
I saw it
Vildor.
once. Yeah, Vildored it. By the way, Anthony Ross, shout out to you. $5 super chat. He says, "Wow, what a treat it is to see the great Terry Foster. I always enjoyed your work. Ewan McFarlane used to make my day in the paper." That's from Anthony Ross in the chat.
You talking about Jim McFarlane?
I'm not sure. You haven't done anything with Booger, have you?
I've not. I have not been in the same room with Booger. He must be talking about Jim McFarlane. because he must be a sports and a music guy.
Okay. Anthony Ross, you a sports and a music guy? Mm-hmm. By the way, quick pivot real quick. Did you hear Dan Campbell talk about the hype music that he has, his pregame hype playlist? It has, your Metallica on it that we all assume. They said that he likes classical music and the soundtrack to The Last of the Mohicans.
Oh, my goodness.
Can you believe that?
Can you imagine just him pulling out somebody's heart from their chest, like what happened in that movie? He probably would.
I don't even know what Last of the Mohicans sounds like. What is that?
It's you could probably explain it better, but it's very classical. I mean, it's like a war-ish type of movie.
You know
Native
what
American
I can hear
war
Dan
call
Campbell
kinda,
listen to?
yeah.
I don't know the name of it, but it goes do 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 do. What's that?
Is that just the trumpeter announcing the king coming out to his court?
No, that's it right there.
That's Beethoven's like 5th or 6th symphony or something like that.
This dude is all cultured over
Something
here.
like that.
Culture. He just spent too much time at the racetrack in Arlington.
Yeah, but he knew Beethoven.
Yeah, because they play that every time the horses are about to take off.
No,
Yeah.
that's different.
Well, the Lions are about to.
And that's called the post.
Lay Beethoven's a second bowel movement on the Bears today. How about that? What would be
They
on
better.
What would be on your hype? Wait, what'd you say?
They better.
They will. What would be on your pregame hype playlist? What kind of music gets you going?
Oh man, let me see. If I have to perform, right? I have to go out there and either coach or play.
Yeah, what gets you focused or jacked up? Maybe it's Metallica, maybe it's classical. What? If I went to your phone or your Spotify or Apple Music, what's coming up?
Well, since I don't have Spotify, nothing's gonna come up. But I like Prince.
Okay.
That could hype me up.
Little
I'm
Purple
the only
Rain.
black guy who listens to Kiss. That could pump me up.
The only black guy that listens to Kiss.
Oh, I went to the Kiss. Did I ever tell you I went to the Kiss concert?
Awesome.
No.
Awesome.
I went to the Kiss concert at Joe Louis. Not Joe Louis, but LCA. I took 3 steps in, and somebody says, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "I'm going to watch the concert." And they looked at me like, "Oh, my God."
Why are you here? This was at LCA. You went to the concert in the last 3 years, 4 years, 5 years?
It was the
farewell
Kiss
show.
Farewell show, but it wasn't really their farewell show.
Got you.
So, yeah, I went there and took 3 steps in. What are you doing here?
Dude, you are so welcome at any Kiss show I'm at, bro.
Thank
Seriously.
you, my friend.
You are so welcome anytime, dude.
I'm going to leave that one aside. Well, Pete, I'm going to ask you, what's on your playlist?
No, you just said it, Metallica for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going heavy metal for doggone sure, or hard rock. And I can't wait for that Led Zeppelin documentary movie that's coming to the out in February. So that's my kind of music.
Yeah. How about this? T.M. Martin, Esquire. Music has no color. By the way, get your
Actually, it does.
It does.
I've caught so much shit because I do like Led Zeppelin.
Uh-huh.
I went to a Aerosmith concert. My wife wouldn't go with me, so she allowed me to go on a date with this woman named Kathleen.
Kathleen.
Yeah,
Was she out in the UK?
Huh?
Was she out in the UK?
No. She's a little Detroit girl.
Okay.
Because my wife was like, I'm not going to see that shit. No way. But the wife did. She went to. I always wanted to see Alice Cooper, and I haven't seen him in like a million years. She went with me.
I bet it was pretty good.
She actually liked it.
Nice.
She does not like rock music, but she did like Alice Cooper. She said, I thought it was going to be like boom, 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 boom. We wouldn't understand anything, but she liked the music. She had a good time.
Yeah. That's all that matters. Music has lots of colors.
Now, we didn't watch Rob Zombie. I don't think I could take that.
No. You'll just Alice Cooper Kiss. That'll be it.
I was going to say, Terry saw Nita Strauss, which is Alice Cooper's guitarist. She's a very beautiful woman. Nita Strauss is
Anita?
just Nita Strauss is a very great guitarist for Alice Cooper. So you saw some very good talent, Terry.
Okay.
Terry knows talent. I see some Eye of the Tiger in the chat. That was from, I believe it was Greg Alspa. Who was that? Eye of the Tiger. It was Randall Smalls. All All-ITIZ, the Ride of the Valkyries. Demon Dice, this will be the first game the Lions play in the elements. Most teams they have faced have either been in the dome or good weather places. Yeah, this is only their second game outdoors this season.
Now, are we worried about that?
Not anymore.
Right.
Not anymore. Jared Goff's hands are still the same size.
He won at Green Bay last year.
Yeah, won this year.
Yeah, but it was nice weather.
Not in Green Bay this year. That was the
That's
first.
right. It was the
Nasty.
the rain.
Yeah, it was a nasty game, but he was pinpoint accurate to Amon-Ra St. Brown. There in
So
the
they
corner.
have played in bad weather this season.
No, yeah, exactly.
It just wasn't 10 degrees.
This
That's
team
all.
travels. This offense, they can win in any elements. Guns N' Roses all day, says Matt G. Al, my pregames was Rascal Flatts Melt album, laugh out loud. Had to keep it calm before the storm. That makes sense.
I could do a little November rain.
In the
And
cold
Purple Rain?
November rain.
November rain. That's Guns N' Roses.
Roses.
But you also said Prince and the Purple.
I know, but
Purple Rain.
someone mentioned Guns N' Roses.
I-
I said I could do a little November rain.
Yeah. G-Man DT Terry, Detroit has all the storylines when it comes to music. Motown, Kid Rock, Nugent, 9 Mile Man himself played his own role. And Eric Burrow had one. Ozfest 02 was hype AF. Led Zeppelin ramble on from Demon Dice. We got some good ones. Good ones. I wonder what Jared Goff's listening to pregame or what he's getting going, because we just kind of alluded to it with the wet. Like, that was the narrative leading up until this year, I guess. Can he perform in cold weather and wind and the elements? He can. Does this offense?
Yeah, what is he listening to? Jared Goff is probably listening to like Nickelback or something stupid like that.
Don't put that on him.
You're probably right.
Don't put that on him.
You know he's listening to something that you don't like.
Whatever he's listening to, I like.
Country. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
I'm
He's
kidding.
a Cali
no,
guy.
I'm kidding. I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
He's a Cali guy.
He's probably
he's
listening
Cali.
to Kid and Play.
I think he's one. He's just
Nothing wrong with that.
He goes in the corner and he's thinking. He's probably studying. It'd be a great question to ask him. Chat, do you know what Jared Goff is listening to pregame? Al says, "Whoa, living on a prayer." Goff listens to Spice Girls, says John H.
No, he does not.
Yeah, I don't think so, but you never know. Mike Willett, Weird Al.
Oh, Weird Al, sweet.
Yeah.
You know I'm fat.
still disrespect
I'm fat,
Jared Goff.
You know it.
We do?
Well, somebody said he's probably listening to Weird Al. That's not respectful.
You know I'm fat.
I don't know. Weird Al. Weird Al's like the gateway drug to hip hop for a lot of young white folk. Like that's how.
If you're saying your hype music is Weird Al Yankovic, that is not respectful.
I was like the '90s version of Little Dicky. Do you know Little Dicky? Dave Bird. It's my
No.
guy. It's my guy. I'll put you on after.
Weird Al is not gateway to hip hop.
For some. For
Who?
some.
For you?
for white boys in between 5 and 12 years old who grew up in the '90s.
So
Amish Paradise.
for white
Jam.
guys, now let me get this straight. White guys listen to Weird Al Yankovic, and then when they're tired of him, they go to NWA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, get out of here, man.
Yeah, no,
You're
you go
on crack.
from you go from Amish Paradise, you go from Weird Al to Coolio, and then from Coolio to Big Al.
Cruising down the street in my 6'4".
I'm not buying that.
It's the
Slapping
path,
the
the Souls of
hose.
Mischief. It's
You know what?
There's a whole '90s R&B, hip hop.
You're gonna have to show me some documentation.
I got you. We could play it on the show right now. We'd probably get copyrighted.
No, you know who he listens to? My guess, honestly, I got a good guess. Beastie Boys.
Jared?
Yeah, I think that he would listen to Beastie Boys.
I can appreciate that. Where was it? Oh, Steve-O Baby. Jared Goff is probably listening to Eminem, The Way I Am.
Yes,
a
I
good
can
one.
believe that.
That's a good one. I like Jared Goff the way he is, especially when you hear people, even still at this network, even still on the the daily show from 5 to 7, who chalk up Jared Goff's performance against the Bills as just garbage time, garbage stats. The 500 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. They were all in prevent defense, But
Well,
the
it was-
week before,
It was
Josh
a little
Allen.
cheap.
What do you think of Josh Allen's stats the week before against the Rams? They were coming from behind the entire game. What do you have? Three passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. But that's leading towards his MVP candidacy. But
that's 6 touchdowns, bro.
Jahmyr Goff had 5.
That's 6 is more. Last time I checked.
That's what. Yes. I'm not arguing that.
No, but no.
You know what I'm saying, though? What?
Stop the show. We're over here arguing an easy
I know.
topic.
know,
Easy
he got
doesn't like Jared Goff. He will
doesn't
never
believe in
like Jared Goff. And plus, he's easy.
Yeah, he doesn't believe in your quarterback. Lions fans. He doesn't believe in Goff. Still.
Easy has only done 2 great things in his life.
Uh-oh.
One, he's got cute little cheeks.
He's a cute guy.
Yeah.
I do like He's cute.
He's a cutie pie.
Yeah.
He's a cutie
And
pie.
he beat Stick's ass when they had their little thing.
The little wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't around back then. I was a fan of the network. I was in the chat back then. But correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't he just lay there?
That's what Stick says.
Yeah.
No, he beat his ass.
I don't know. He lay there. I've ran into a few. Sometimes when you lay, you're just the dead fish. It's not the route to take. Some people, what I'm saying.
Whether he laid there or whatever, he won.
Rumor is it's like Rocky 3. They fought behind again behind closed doors.
Stick was said, I don't want to hurt the kid. So he wasn't going to punch him.
Fair.
It's like Rocky 3. They fought again behind closed doors. We don't know who won.
That's true. But they will still banter to this day.
Right. We
Those
don't know who
two
won.
have a banter. By the way, Jack Hoffman says, "Are you drunk? Josh Allen is the best player in the league." Agreed, 100%. That wasn't the point. It was just when people are downplaying Goff's performance because they were coming from behind versus ahead in the game or something.
Once again, you get into a dangerous thing when you're trying to defend easy.
I ain't trying to defend Easy. I'm trying to disagree with
when we're
every
trying
Goff
to
take
have a
he's ever said.
discussion where Easy's at the base point. That's all I'm saying.
He got me. It's scar tissue. Shout out Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's just it's peeling right now. Shout out to Mr. Detroit City. Shout out to you. All right, it's 57, Terry. Final notes, final comments, score prediction. We got the Lions. Last I checked on Caesars Sportsbook. Yes, the real Caesars Sportsbook. Lions were favored by 6.5.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Is that still the case
That's
right
still
now?
the case.
Still the case.
The Lions have to cover for me to feel easy about this game. I think today, and I usually don't say this, but I think we need to see some style points today. We need to see the Lions beat the Bears, who are imploding, on vacation, don't have nothing to play for.
Yeah.
Probably better off losing. I think the Lions have to beat them by 10. And they'll do that. I'm going to go 30-20.
30-20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's 10.
That
right?
is 10.
All right.
Mine's pretty close. Burn in the chat, $5 super chat. Burn. Thank you, man. Where's my can? Appreciate you. He says, Broder, the MVP race is over. Goff could throw 0 interceptions and 3 wins for 400 yards each game. He won't 1. Agreed. It's Josh Allen's. What's he got? 2 games against the Patriots.
We said that last week.
1 against the Jets. Yeah. I wasn't trying to argue that Jared Goff is going to win the MVP.
You tried to lure me into that last week, and I told you, dude, shut up. I did.
Terry Reginald Foster.
Roll the R.
Roll the R.
The third.
The third?
Actually, yes. I actually don't have a middle name. I gave myself one.
Oh.
And it's not Reginald. It's
Reginald.
I just changed my score because I had a thought. I had a premonition, but I want to get Pete's final notes. Don't give me your score prediction.
Give you the score
No,
prediction.
we know we're not going to get the score from him, so why do you do that every week?
Because I want to remind people that his score prediction and much more X's and O's, fantasy, betting stuff
Thank you.
is going to be on the pregame show from 10 to 12.
It is. And I was actually going to, Terry, I was actually going to let you know that my parlay coming up later on in the pregame show, actually, you have confirmed what I thought the Lions had to do today was win with style points.
Okay.
So my parlay will confirm both your premonition of what's going to happen.
style points on there?
It is dependent upon style points. Is my whole
said the
point.
blind man. Okay.
Yes, we are. Yes, so I am on Terry's bandwagon for coming up on the pregame show. We have a wonderful parlay, and I think the Lions, to answer your question, Mr. Matt Broder, are going to take it to the woodshed today against the Bears. I think what we saw on against the Bears here at home a couple weeks ago was an apparition. That's just one of those things, and the Bears have checked out. Everybody's checked out. The Lions have not checked out, and I hate to be the Bears today because the Lions are going to get back today, Matt Broder. That's what's going to happen.
Matt,
you want a
I'm
prediction?
trying to tell
Prediction
you,
is
Pete's
pain.
not a bad guy.
Pain.
Matt doesn't like Sneaky Pete.
He's
But
sneaky.
I keep telling you he's not a bad guy. He's a good guy.
Sneaky.
Thank you, buddy.
He's
And
sneaky.
you don't like him. I don't know why.
The mustard's off the hot dog, Terry.
I like Matt, though.
Yeah.
I like you, though, bro.
I like it. I like you too.
I like you, brother.
I like you too, Petey. We got some predictions in the chat. Austin LeBeau, Lions 31-17. Rando Smalls 31-13. Kenneth 34-6. Lions win. Bears don't get a touchdown. Or they get a touchdown and Cairo Santos misses the extra point. It could happen. Tabitha Gable 42-17 Lions. Brian Ruth 31-3 Lions. Are there any Bears?
Dude, hey. When you talking about single digits against this defense, I can't buy that. Now, I'm optimistic, but the Lions only going to give up 3 points or 6 points?
I think they're giving up a number with the 2 in front of it. But this lowish 2s, they're going to win 34-24.
Okay, sounds good.
go.
I actually think this offense is going to have a really good day. I don't know how pretty it's going to look, but I think they're out to prove something. I think it's going to be a monster day for Jahmyr Gibbs, which may not be like some groundbreaking prediction, but I think he's going to go off. The Bears' run defense blows like the Windy City. Jahmyr Gibbs is now the dude. I don't want to say they can't rely on Jared Goff, but it's not with the elements. Like, he doesn't need to have, and we don't want him to have a 40, 50 attempt day. We want Jahmyr Gibbs to be the feature. We want more Sam Laporta and Amon-Ra St. Brown on their little short intermediate routes. Control the ball because this Bears offense is nothing.
Okay, Jahmyr Gibbs averages 123 yards per game rushing when Montgomery doesn't play.
Yeah.
Does he go over or under that?
Over. Jahmyr
Okay.
Gibbs? What do the kids these days call it? Get right?
Get right.
Jahmyr Gibbs is over 175 all-purpose yards
You know,
today.
the kids say, you're a kid.
I know, and he asked me. He looked at me. I like it. I'm 50 years old.
Right.
I'm an 80s baby. I've been alive in 5 decades.
Good for you, Broder.
Yeah. So that sounds like wisdom to me.
80s boy.
Yeah, think about it. I've been born in the 80s, 90s, 1000s, 10s, and 20s. I'm in my 30s.
I've been alive for 8 decades.
Damn.
Because I snuck in right at the end in the 50s. 1959.
59.
59.
I've
Nah.
never witnessed a Lions Super Bowl either.
I've not.
We witnessed the Michigan National Championship last year.
I've witnessed 2.
I don't know.
I
That's
was
true.
at 1.
The one out in Pasadena?
I was at that game.
1998.
Charles Woodson? My
Yep.
favorite player.
New Year's
favorite
Day,
football player of all time.
1998.
Greg Allspot agrees with me. I'm seeing other ones. Tia Martin says blowout. Just get the win. Mark Royal. Lions Fanimal 42-28. That's a big offensive output.
Wow.
My guy, Mr. Detroit City, 42-9. Lions suck it, Caleb. He
42-9.
it is the season of giving. The Bears gifted the Lions a W last game with Eberflus and Caleb Williams and that mess. I'm excited that I'm excited it's Sunday and we get to watch the Lions at 1 o'clock. Any last comments, Terry, before we say goodbye to our friends in the chat?
No,
friends
folks,
watching.
look for style points today, not just the victory, style points. The Lions are going to provide that with you. The season is not over. They still have a shot at the Super Bowl. Don't listen to all this crap you're hearing around the city.
Just go get the W. Just go get the W. To everyone watching on YouTube, on X, on Instagram, wherever you are in this world, we appreciate you joining in and watching, contributing in the chat. We got the pregame show from 10 to 12.
Yes, sir.
Hosted by Neil Rule and Sean Belegian. Is it Neil today?
Yes.
Neil is back in studio.
No,
remote.
he's in Hawaii.
I think he's in Hawaii. He will be on location from Hawaii. You want to talk about early in the morning.
Woo!
You know what? Yeah, but he's gonna be on the beach with a little lay on.
Let's see, at 4:04 in the morning.
Oh yeah, he's
5:04 in the morning.
Neil is
No,
an
I want to
animal.
see him on the beach at that morning with a lay on.
He's an animal. He's gonna have a Mai Tai and scrambled eggs.
10 to 12. Watch party at Hayes Social in Shelby Township from the 5 minutes before the game starts till the end of the game. Hosted by the heavyweights. That's Easy Spenmo Racks. Then we got to round things off. Stick and Anson do the post-game show from Hayes Social. Take calls, talk to the viewers. Win or lose, they're there 5 minutes after the game. We got the lineup here on Woodward Sports. Terry, it was a pleasure opening the day with you. You as well.
Same here.
Thank you, my friend.
And people, thank you for joining us today. Now you can go back to sleep
Yeah.
for 2 hours.
For 55 minutes.
55. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever it
It's
is.
a pregame show.
I can't count.
Pregame show. Again, thank you, Pete.
Yep.
Chat, have a wonderful day. Go Lions. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. This is Woodward and Maine.
I'll be here.
All right. Have a good Sunday.
Bye.
The bad boys from the NFL are here. Your 2024 Detroit Lions are the hardest hitting, highest flying, trickiest playing, grittiest team in the NFL.
A dominant team.
Get all your coverage of your favorite team right here in your favorite network. Woodward Sports.